here's the tutorial on how I made my Star Wars change dress. Started off by doing a design of what I wanted to do, and then I used these two patterns and mixed them together to make the base of the dress. And then here are the pattern pieces I need to cut out. I adjusted them to fit the style of what I wanted, and then here's my fabric. I'm not going to go over like the basics of sewing in this, I'm just going to talk about how the change dress worked, but you can kind of see what I'm doing as I'm talking. So there's three things that change with the first dress that you see, the one that's over the top, not the underneath base dress. So the Jedi dress for what you see on mine. The first thing would be that the top needs to be at least 1 to 2 sizes bigger, so when you pull it down, there's enough room, and also the skirt has to also fit inside the secondary skirt that then comes out when you pull the dress down at the shoulders. The skirt needs to fit inside, so it needs to be bigger, which I'm kind of showing here. And then the other thing is the skirt. The skirt's a little bit awkward, so I had to move my skirt onto the waistline. Before I talk about that, and the pants, I have to cut the top bit off because sometimes it goes baggy. But yeah, back to the skirt. So the first skirt that you see will be the shorter one. When I'm doing it, I still need to add on a bit of seam allowance on the skirt because the skirt is actually put up onto the waist rather than lower down on the hips. This is because it all joins at the waist. And I also have quite a long torso, so it kind of needs to be even on the waistline. And I feel like a lot of change dresses I've seen have all changed on the waist rather than lower down. Because if it was lower down, then the skirts would be really long, and for skating, that's not really a good thing to do if you're going to be jumping and stuff. So as I said, my first skirt will be shorter. This is the first skirt I'm showing here. And then the second skirt needs to be quite a bit longer because it needs the top bit that gets pulled down to be covered. I actually almost didn't get mine long enough. It just about got long enough because my hips actually stopped the top bit from going down too much. Here's me showing the first skirt pattern and trying to show the back of it even though I'm not wearing it. Here's me just decorating part of the dress. I'll probably just talk over what I'm doing now. I'm just doing some basic sewing to make it kind of look like a Jedi, kind of like Anakin's Jedi robes. For this pattern, you don't attach the shoulder seams, so that's the only thing you keep open. And then this is me putting the top and the bottom together, which I've always hated. I always end up putting the skirt in the wrong way around and having the bum part of the pants on the front. So please get it right, don't do what I do. Here's me showing that you need to sew below these stitches, so otherwise you'll have either a hole or you'll see stitches that are a bit icky. And then here's me showing it again because clearly I make a lot of mistakes. And make sure everything's the right way around. I do that a lot as well. But yeah, here's the first dress. So you put this first dress together other than the shoulders. Oh, I got a little pull there. So here's me just pinning them just to see how it would fit. But yeah, the first dress looks really nice. It fits well. The skirt is very short. I could have maybe put a few more, couple inches on, but I don't really care. I kind of like how short it is. Here's the second skirt. Can you see how much more I've put on? And I should have put maybe a tiny bit more on. I don't know, it depends on if you've got a long torso or not, or whether, it just depends on your body shape, honestly. So when you do this, maybe create a few practice dresses first to see how your body shape works with this. Here is the second dress. This is my sewing machine eating part of the fabric and ruining it, just showing that sewing machines have them on their own, they'll do what they want. So these dress pieces are the base of the dress. So this is the underneath. This is my Darth Vader side. So now to put these together, you first put in the skirt and you kind of fold it down so it goes on at the waistline. And then after that, you put the top in. You just gotta make sure everything's facing the right way. It takes a lot of trial and error. I made a lot of mistakes with my practice dresses, but this is why this one actually turned out all right. So then this is me putting the skirt on, and at this point I can see that my skirt is not actually covering the top layer. And I'm like, oh no, I do actually cut off part of the shoulder pieces because I did make them a bit too long. So that's also what covered a bit of that in the end. I put a lot of clips on because I don't trust myself. But yeah, the skirt goes on, and then this is me showing to sew on the right side again. This, when you're sewing it, because it's 2 dresses in one, it gets really chunky. So I recommend using mesh for the skirts because it just makes it a lot thinner. Oh, and here's the top going in, which is the final part of the main dress now. Again, lots of clips. And again, lots of lines of sewing. And we just sew that all together, and here it is. It doesn't look anything special at the moment. You can see the shoulder pieces are sticking down quite a lot. That was quite worrying, but look, it actually looks okay when I put it on. It is very lumpy when you put it on, so maybe try and straighten the skirt out a bit. So the first thought for the shoulder pieces was Velcro. This actually didn't work out because it got caught on the mesh later on, but here's the first go of it. It worked pretty well, other than the fact that the top bit I still didn't have quite big enough for me, because I have quite large hips. It doesn't look like it, but I do. So as you see, it won't pull down fully, which actually works because if it did pull down fully, it would show under the skirt. later on we added in some triangular pieces into the side of the like Jedi part, just to add in a bit more. Oh, and then I decided I wanted sleeves, because I thought it looked better with sleeves. Here's my first go on the ice. Yeah, the skirt did not want to go down. This was partially because the Velcro stuck into the mesh, and partially I just needed more fabric in the upper bit, and luckily we just fixed that with those side pieces. Here's one of my practice dresses with scrap fabric, showing what I'm doing with the side pieces. I just added in like a little triangle and it worked pretty well, so that was good. And then, not shown because I don't know why I didn't record it, we took the Velcro out and then added in poppers on the shoulder instead. We added 2 on each side, but I only ended up using 1. And then here's me decorating it with tons of rhinestones. It took loads of rhinestones. Luckily these ones aren't the expensive ones, they're from Amazon, but they sparkle pretty well. The metallic ones I find sparkle quite well, and it just looks really sparkly and cool on the ice. So here's the Jedi side on the ice. I'm just doing a bit of a crappy camel, actually. And then the next video will be the Darth Vader side, and then I'll just have a little clip at the end showing it at competition. And it looked really cool. I think the change worked really well. I'm glad that in the end the skirt was long enough and it worked out really well. And for a first change dress, I really like it.